some days you're gonna win. They say some days you're gonna lose. I tell you, I got news for you. You're losing all the time, you never win. No, if you believe that's how it's gonna be, I better put you down. Get up, you take your look, they come down on the ground. You gotta save me now, you better turn around. And I looked around, I was heading down. Oh, somebody throw me down the line. This is the days you gotta give.
I don't think I've ever hot mic myself before. And I know why, because our buttons ain't working. Welcome back. I've never hot cam myself. Welcome into our daily show, 9:08 as we start this Friday morning, and I hope that all of you are off to the best start possible. Before we do top of the hour news, man, I got to ask you all a question. First, did you guys see Brian Trust's new conspiracy show? Really excited for that and hope it continues to go well. That's at 8 p.m. on Thursdays. Your Beautiful's at 2. But man, we got just a litany of just people getting sick at the house. And what do you guys do? Like, if you know that daycare and all that, and maybe the little one's always kind of coming down with a cold or so, and one of you guys always are, what do you do? Like, what is your remediation tactic to kind of get through the storm? Let me know on the text line and send me an email at cj@RiverBender.com. We got a nice show for you guys today. We're going to talk to Keith Short. I'm really excited to have him back on the show. He joined us in the front half of the month, and we kind of just had an overview of what this new segment would look like, and now we're going to start diving right on into it. We're going to be talking about jury selection today, and this is really fascinating to me. Keith was filling us in that jury selection truly could make or break so many cases and trials, so we're going to talk a little bit about that process and so much more. We'll also talk about his real-world experiences from the courtroom. Then at 10:35, Blog Talk with Sydney. In the meantime, top of the hour news now. Here's what you need to know. Make sure you download that RiverBender.com app today. The most talked about news story on our site is that Edwardsville School District No. 7 Board of Education has unanimously voted to suspend Superintendent Dr. Patrick Shelton with pay while an investigation is ongoing. No clarity on what that investigation entails at this time. The decision was made during a specially called meeting yesterday. In the same vote, the board appointed Assistant Superintendent Dr. Alan Duncan as interim superintendent. Dr. Shelton, whose contract runs through June 2028, joined the district in 2021 and has had a background in various education leadership roles throughout. The board has not disclosed any further details about the investigation prompting the suspension, but we will keep you updated when more details do emerge. We should get them shortly. Also in the news today, Jeffrey Fields, 59 of Maryville, died in a single-vehicle crash on the morning of September the 18th in Fairmont City. He has now been identified. His vehicle collided with a support column off a train trestle on Collinsville Road around 11 a.m. There were no witnesses at the crash and was discovered by a passerby who did alert authorities onto this investigation. Fields was pronounced deceased at the scene. The St. Clair County coroner confirmed the details, and the Teat Funeral Home in Fairview Heights is currently handling all of those arrangements. Also in the news today, in a narrow 4-3 vote, the Alton City Council has approved $10,000 in funding for a 6-week program aimed at reducing youth violence in the city. Here's what we know. The initiative, led by 40 Days of Nonviolence, has proven successful in nearby East St. Louis by promoting nonviolent activities focused on mental and physical health, career skills, and community engagement. The program will feature themed weeks including health, first responders, civic, religious organizations, education, and unification. Funding comes from ARPA dollars and includes support from planning, outreach, and data analysis. Debate did arise, though, over overlapping data studies, and you can see a full conversation and discourse on that and that 4-3 vote at RiverBender.com/video. That's under the government tab. Finally, in the news this morning, wish me luck. I'm going to need an oxygen tank. Alton High School is hosting their alumni soccer game on Saturday, tomorrow, September the 26th at West. It's going to feature the women's and men's matches at 6 p.m. and 7:15 p.m. respectively. The men play at 7:15, women at 6. It's organized by Gwen Sabo, a 2011 graduate, and she was a star player under my dad at Alton High, now the coach of the Redbirds. The event aims to reconnect alumni from multiple decades, all the way back from 1986 through 2025. The reunion fosters community spirit with sibling and father-son duos participating. My dad will be out of town. Coordination with school officials ensured smooth planning. Interested players can still sign up by contacting Gwen Sabo via email or phone. That's on the RiverBender.com article. And if you have a spare oxygen tank for me to use, we only have 11 players. I could use that. Let's take a look at weather. 63 degrees in downtown Alton. It feels like 69 out there. Today, mostly sunny. It will be pleasantly warm, but humidity might be a little bit of a factor. It's at 93% this morning. Overall air quality is at 53, which is moderate, and mold counts are moderate today, too. Temperatures are going to look almost identical for the next 5 days. Going to be pleasant, a little bit warmer than normal, but it's something we can manage. Coming up today, temperatures reach 85, drop down to 52. On Saturday, a high of 83, a low of 53. On Sunday, a high of 83, a low of 56 degrees. On Monday, a high of 84, a low of 56. And on Tuesday, a high of 84, a low of 57. That's a look at the next 5 days. There is no rain in those forecasts, no clouds in the sky, but maybe a couple of passing ones. It's going to look like a great 5 days. That's a look at what's happening around the Riverbend. For time and temperature throughout the day, 618-465-4545. This time powered by Bounce Back Rehab, Recover, and Return Home. Hey, we're going to take a quick break. Come back with Keith Short. Really excited to talk about the jury process and get all those details. Hang out with us after a quick break. First, a look at downtown Alton, and our daily show on this Friday morning continues. Experience, Wilson's Tree Service has the expertise to handle all of your tree care needs. Licensed and fully insured, their team of experts are dedicated to providing reliable service. Plus, with a 24-hour emergency service line, Wilson's will always be there for you. Don't risk tackling that timber by yourself. Trust the local professionals at Wilson's Tree Service. Visit treeservicealtonil.org to get started today.
Discover Del Mar Public House, located in Godfrey's historic Clifton Schoolhouse. Enjoy bold flavors like homemade falafel, fish and chips, and rotating pasta favorites. Relax with local beers, half-price wine bottles, and summer poutine nights. The only thing missing is you. Open Wednesday through Sunday. Del Mar Public House, where great food, drinks, and friends come together. DelMarPublicHouse.com.
Do you need to declutter your space? Time to call me, the Queen of Junk. Since 1993, we have grown to be the leader in residential, commercial, and property management junk removal. At Sparks Junk Removal, we are eco-friendly. We recycle, donate, or repurpose items back into our community. Trash is our last resort to the landfill. Plus, with our all-inclusive service, our crews handle everything from labor to lifting and landfill fees. Give us a call or visit our website, sparksjunkremoval.net, to reclaim your space today.
When I got in the car accident at the ER, they gave me a prescription of hydrocodone. And over time, it took more medication to mask the pain. I moved over to drug seeking and found heroin and fentanyl. I went to the Centerstone rehab facility, and it was the best decision I ever made in my life. I have my own car, I have a job. There's nothing holding me back anymore.
When you need a project done right, on budget and on time, trust Gillahan Concrete. Gillahan handles every kind of project, big and small. Commercial, industrial, residential, from room additions and garages to patios, driveways, and more. Gillahan brings quality and experience to every job. Family owned with over 30 years of service to our community. Call today at 618-781-3914. or visit GillahanConcrete.com.
Accidents happen in a heartbeat, but lives change forever. Whether it's a car crash, workplace injury, medical malpractice, or wrongful death, you don't have to face the consequences alone. Keith Short and Associates brings over 33 years of experience and a reputation for fighting fiercely for your rights. For relentless representation that you can trust, call Keith Short and Associates at 618-254-0055 today for a free consultation.
You're listening to Our Daily Show with CJ Nasello on RiverBender.com.
Lay down, Sally, I'm resting in my arms. Don't you think you want someone to talk to? Lay down, Sally, no need to leave so soon. I've been trying all night long just to talk to
Welcome back. Keith Short in the studio again. Sorry, I had to do my hair. I looked in the mirror. I'm like doing the news, and I'm like, "What the heck is?"
I can't relate.
Oh, how's life treating you, man?
It's great. My wife and I just got back from a bit of an adventure vacation. Had a good time. Went down to Peru and hiked the Inca Trail, and she did better than I did.
Well, honestly, you were telling me before we came on the air, and it just sounds like a really cool trip.
It is. It is. Actually, what was really interesting, a couple of things. First off, I'm 5'8". The average Peruvian's 5'5", so I was like a giant. It's glorious. And what was interesting, we'd been there for about 10 days and probably ran across, 50 to 60,000 Peruvians as you're walking the cities, and saw one person smoke the entire time.
No kidding.
No, that's it. Yeah. Well, it's a country that doesn't have a great income base for the individual, but also Cusco, which is the primary city near Machu Picchu, is at 10,000 feet. So it's already tough enough.
Yeah, that's why I say you had a Marlboro in that. That might be a little bit.
It's you're putting your life in jeopardy, actually. So
well, I'm glad to have you back. I'm glad you had a great trip.
Thanks.
When we had you on the first time, we kind of did an overview, just a little bit of what we're going to talk about. And now that we're getting structured, I'm really fascinated to learn more. Today, we're going to talk all about jury selection.
Okay.
And this is where I find this. Just the last couple of weeks, and just on the big 4 news channels talking about national trials and how they selected juries. I didn't realize the scientific process or just the art form that is jury selection.
Oh, yeah. And in fact, if you try enough cases, and I'm not talking the smaller, like a car accident case, you don't have to put a lot of science into a small car accident case. But tomorrow morning, I will be in another city to do mock jury panels, and I'll start at 8 a.m. They're 3 hours long. We'll do 3 in a row until 8 p.m. So my day will start at 5 tomorrow morning, and I'll get home at 10 or 11 at night. But we have people brought in, and we test theories with them. We test ideas with them. We don't tell them who we are or what side we represent. My associate will present one of the side of the case, and I'll present the other side of the case. And we'll do it with the first panel as though the defendant is going to confess liability. And so the only issue is how much the damages are. And the second panel will do it as though they're going to fight. And the third panel will just ask general questions. All of this is done so that we can select the right people for the jury. Jury selection, you hear all the time, is not about picking people. It's about eliminating people. You don't want people who are biased for either side because it spoils the outcome. So there's a lot of science that goes into it. There's a lot of background. We get a list of all the jurors a week before the trial, and then we go online and and the defendants do the same thing. They do Facebook searches, and they do every kind of thing we can find out about.
No kidding.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, we'll know what job you have for the most part. We'll know... obviously your age, if you're married. Oftentimes they'll let us do questionnaires, and we'll know what radio stations you listen to.
No kidding.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, because it tells you a little bit about a person's preferences.
See, that's what I was curious about. Do you look for just who they are as a human more so than who they are specific to this case, if that makes sense?
Yeah. It's actually a really interesting way to say it. Because, and here's my favorite example. I do a lot of medical malpractice and very big litigation. Historically, I don't want anyone in medicine on my jury because it's hard for them to give me a verdict and then go back to work and people say, "Hi, how'd that trial you were sitting in for 2 weeks ago?" Well, I voted for the plaintiff in a medical malpractice. I mean, my wife's a nurse practitioner. My daughter's a doctor.
Right.
They've acknowledged, yeah, that would be tough. If I can tell a quick little anecdote, though, that helps explain what you were just asking me about, the person. I picked a jury down in Belleville about 4 or 5 years ago, and it's a medical malpractice case. And there were 2 or 3 nurses in my panel, and one lady was a little bit older. She was about my age, 50s to 60s, and she's a nurse. And I listened to every one of her answers carefully, and I said to my client, I want her on our jury, which normally you would say, no. And I said, I just have a feeling this lady is older. She is in a class of sort of profession that it's rare. So her specialty was rare. So she had a lot of power as a nurse because she could leave this job and go get 10 others tomorrow. So I liked her, and I said, you know what? She's not afraid of anyone. And my client agreed, trusted me. Well, when the trial was over and it got time to what happens is this: at the end of the trial, the judge will say, "Did you pick a 4-person?" And the 4-person will stand up. And I said to my client, who's a pharmacist, I said, I think if she's our 4-person, we're going to win. And my client and I, people can say, we're holding hands at the time. And the judge said, did you pick a 4-person? And she stood up. My client squeezed my hand. I was like, oh, God. Lego. And so we had asked the jurors to give us $550,000 for this terribly disfigured breast that this woman had for a surgery she'd never have had.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And I got the doctor to admit that she was a terrible candidate for the surgery, but in his notes it says she's a great candidate for the surgery. So, because he knew she had lupus and she had these other things, and what's interesting is that same lady was told by a different doctor she couldn't have eye surgery because she had lupus, and she said, okay. This doctor she told, I have lupus, and he said, go ahead and do the surgery.
Yeah.
So anyway, I asked for $550,000, and this lady stands up, and they gave the verdict, and they gave us $600,000, more than I asked for.
Wow.
And I'll never forget her response. And I asked her later, I said, well, why did you rule for us? And she said, well, that guy's a lion, in words I won't say here. That doctor was. And I said, well, why'd you give us more than we asked for? Now, remember, I get a third.
Right.
And the client gets the other 2/3. And she looks at me and smiles, she says, it's easier to divide by 3. And I thought I'd kiss you on the mouth right now if I could. So my point was,
right?
Most lawyers would have stricken her from their panel. And I liked her honesty. I liked her frankness. I liked her strength. And I thought she's going to do what she thinks is right, and she doesn't care what anybody says.
Well, not to cut you off, I'm just getting excited about it because you're almost picking a team. It's not like you're picking a team for like kickball at recess, but this is obviously not kickball. Right. You got to have leaders. You got to have all these different characteristics of every individual.
Well, yeah, that's actually very true. And what we really find is interesting is this: if you have a person who's very quiet, and they don't say much during the jury selection, because here's how it goes: the judge brings in 40, 50 people. And we are allowed to stand up and do what's called voir dire or voir dire, depending on what part of the country you're in. It's jury. We ask them questions. Mm-hmm. And the key is looping, is what we call looping. So imagine CJ says an answer, and it's really bad for me. And I say to you, CJ, do you really think that you could be fair to this jury? I mean, I understand how you feel. We always agree. I understand how you feel. It's a pretty strong feeling. Would that make it difficult for you to be fair? And if you say, yeah, we never say, does anyone else feel that way? What we say instead is, who else feels that way? Because it assumes there are other people in the room. Yep. And a hand goes up. Now, if I can get you off of my jury, I've now looped that person to you, and that person to you, and that person to you. So, but anyway, when you have a group that's quiet, they don't say a lot, especially sleepers, people that are probably going to fall asleep, we don't worry much about them. You know why? They'll do whatever the leader says.
Yep.
They aren't paying attention. They don't want to be there. They don't care. They'll sit there. They won't make a single note. And in the end, more often than not, the strong voices in the room will just pull them with.
Yeah.
So you look for 3 or 4 people who you think will be fair, will judge it based on the facts, and if they have a strong enough personality and they go with you, they're going to pull everyone along.
Yeah, this is so fascinating. And just so we can just kind of get everything kind of perfect here. How are jurors? Is it just random by the county and the judge? Like, is it a lottery or how? Because I've never been called.
Yeah, I've actually been called 4 times, and and I've never been allowed to serve. It's oftentimes by voter registration, but not always. DMV has something to do with the driver's license, things of that nature. Small communities, you're going to get pulled a lot of times.
Is age ever a factor dependent on the case? Like, are you going to see an 18-year-old get pulled to be a juror on a homicide case very often?
I can't say because I don't do criminal.
Oh, sorry. Yeah.
No, that's okay. But in my cases, it really is. It's a great question. What we have found with the younger generation is they're oftentimes not terribly engaged until they become engaged. And when they become engaged, then they're fully engaged. So if you get a younger, and that's, I don't even think it's this generation. I think it's that age.
Yeah.
18 to 22, they often have a difficult time, relating to an older person who's had a spinal fusion because they're healthy, and they just don't have much interest. But once they become engaged, you get a 22-year-old who cares, and 19, they're the ones who lead protests. They will fight. So it's really, your earlier question was the best one, which is it more person-driven or is it more issue-driven? It's person-driven for me. I don't know how other people think.
Mm-hmm. Well, to me, this is why I just find this it's so interesting to see the breakdown of this, because it all goes into that overall success of a trial. It's going to be successful or not successful, it seems like, based on just that. And you were talking about just these mock jury panels and these exercises. How long does it take to plan those? How do you even find the people to come together for that? That's a very fascinating process.
Yeah, what we do is, here's the first thing I tell people. There's a formal and an informal way of doing it. The formal one is you tend to hire a jury consultant or someone who helps you select people. Sometimes they're obtained through temp agencies. Mm-hmm. And therefore you can tell the temp agency, I need X number of women, X number of men, X number of this race, X number of this race. You can tell them what you want.
Okay.
And then you also look at the demographic. Like a case I'm going to be trying is in a rural community. I need farmers. I need people who work in agriculture. I need people who work in that kind of environment. It doesn't do me any good to get a bunch of academics in St. Louis if my trial is going to be in Union County, my home county,
right,
which is a southern county. So anyway, you can have a juror consultant help you do those things, or what we've done lots of times is we just go on Facebook and we say, hey, I'm going to do this on a Tuesday. There'll be lunch served. You got to sign a non-disclosure. We get 20, 30 people volunteer all the time.
No kidding.
And the best part is, the first thing we say is this: you're not going to do me or justice or this case or even the defendant any good unless you tell us the absolute truth. So if you don't like it, just say, I don't like it. I don't like your person. I don't trust your person. And then we get a feeling for how... can I tell you one quick anecdote?
No, we have time. We have tons of time today.
I can't remember how much time we have.
Yeah, that's why I gave you the night. We don't have anybody coming on in the night, so you're good.
Okay, here's an example, although it just jumped right out of my mind. I know what it is. Okay, so we did a mock trial in a case that we got millions of dollars for earlier this year, January, for this lady who I can't, because we have a non-disclosure agreement, I can't say too many details. But what happened to this lady will kill her in time, and she's just waiting for it to happen. So what I did was, my woman was just wonderful, and she's sweet, and she's a little older than me, and the whole thing came down to how information was given to her. But I had 20 people in my conference room, all the chairs set up, and I brought my client in, and I pretended to be the defense lawyer, and I very gently cross-examined. So at the beginning of the case, I told the 20 people, and I said, how many people think the plaintiff should win? Every hand went up after I did like a 10-minute introduction. Then I brought my client in, and I gently cross-examined her for 20 minutes. And then I had her leave the room. I turned to the group. I said, how many people think we should win now? 8 hands went up.
Oh.
I lost 12 of them.
Within 20 minutes?
Within 20 minutes of a gentle cross-examination of her. But then I brought the client back in, and I did a reform. I crossed her like as though the plaintiff again. And I had her explain everything And all of a sudden it went back to 19th.
Okay.
In a matter, yeah. And so what happened was my client was very upset. I said, no, this is a good thing. We need to know why they don't like our case. And then we can work on that and we can plug those holes. So even those people knew who I was, they knew who I represented. I had a bunch of people who were really frank with me. I had a lawyer tell me one time, or not a lawyer, a juror tell me one time, he said, Mr. Short, I think you're a great lawyer, but your case sucks. That's what he said.
Wow.
And I thought, look, you need to hear that. Because there'll be jurors who think exactly that.
Well, and see, this is what I was going to ask you, too, because as you're doing these exercises and you're getting prepared, to me, it's like an athlete getting ready for a game because and if you're a baseball player and all of a sudden the slider's giving you fits and you haven't gotten a hit in 3 months be off a slider, do you ever have those moments where, man, something isn't clicking in these exercises, something isn't clicking in these mock-ups, and you're at trial now, and do you ever have those kind of, let's just weather the storm and let's see where we're at here?
Yeah. I had a paralegal one time. Her name was Dawn, and she was brilliant. COVID kind of interfered with that situation. But what I liked about Dawn was she was also really honest with me. And I remember one time we were in a trial, and the trial was like a week long. And I was sitting in her office and said, boy, I sucked today. And she said, yeah, you did.
That away, Don.
Yeah, well, but that's the whole point.
Yeah.
Is she was comfortable enough to tell them
you have to be,
which was honest and true and good. And we worked through it, and boy, and the next day it was, so imagine it like a baseball player. I kind of went 1 for 5 that day, and the next day we went 4 for 5.
Mm-hmm.
You're not going to have perfect days. I've had jury selection processes where I just don't feel like I connect with anyone. If you try enough cases, that's going to happen.
Well, and see, that's because you have at this point, and it's almost, you get a feel for it or a sense,
Sure.
I could see in a room. Mm-hmm. Let's do this. Let's take a quick break. I want to come back and keep talking. This has just been awesome. I love talking jury selection. I want to talk a little bit more about what the other side looks at, too, okay. And then we'll come back and circle back to it. 9:35, a little bit of change. Keith Short in the studio. He's here back with us next. 20 years of experience, Wilson's Tree Service has the expertise to handle all of your tree care needs. Licensed and fully insured, their team of experts are dedicated to providing reliable service. Plus, with a 24-hour emergency service line, Wilson's will always be there for you. Don't risk tackling that timber by yourself. Trust the local professionals at Wilson's Tree Service. Visit treeservicealtonil.org to get started today.
Discover Del Mar Public House, located in Godfrey's historic Clifton Schoolhouse. Enjoy bold flavors like homemade falafel, fish and chips, and rotating pasta favorites. Relax with local beers, half-price wine bottles, and summer poutine nights. The only thing missing is you. Open Wednesday through Sunday. Del Mar Public House, where great food, drinks, and friends come together. DelMarPublicHouse.com.
Do you need to declutter your space? Time to call me, the Queen of Junk. Since 1993, we have grown to be the leader in residential, commercial, and property management junk removal. At Sparks Junk Removal, we are eco-friendly. We recycle, donate, or repurpose items back into our community. Trash is our last resort to the landfill. Plus, with our all-inclusive service, our crews handle everything from labor to lifting and landfill fees. Give us a call or visit our website, sparksjunkremoval.net, to reclaim your space today.
When I got in the car accident at the ER, they gave me a prescription of hydrocodone. And over time, it took more medication to mask the pain. I moved over to drug seeking and found heroin and fentanyl. I went to the Centerstone rehab facility, and it was the best decision I ever made in my life. I have my own car, I have a job, there's nothing holding me back anymore.
When you need a project done right, on budget and on time, trust Gillahan Concrete. Gillahan handles every kind of project, big and small. Commercial, industrial, residential, from room additions and garages to patios, driveways, and more. Gillahan brings quality and experience to every job. Family owned with over 30 years of service to our community. Call today at 618-781-3914 or visit GillahanConcrete.com.
Accidents happen in a heartbeat, but lives change forever. Whether it's a car crash, workplace injury, medical malpractice, or wrongful death, you don't have to face the consequences alone. Keith Short and Associates brings over 33 years of experience and a reputation for fighting fiercely for your rights. For relentless representation that you can trust, call Keith Short and Associates at 618-254-0055 today for a free consultation.
You're listening to Our Daily Show with CJ Nasello on RiverBender.com.
You know you could have been a good, and baby you're so smart. You know you could have been a school dude. Well, you could have been anything that you wanted to. I can tell
Oh, see, look at that, my camera. Come back here. Okay. Only had the same setup for 3 years now. Back with Keith Short. So this is so silly of me, Keith, but I was, don't laugh at me. I was watching My Cousin Vinny yesterday.
Yeah.
And there's something about just, they show the process, and obviously it doesn't work that way.
Oh, you'd be surprised.
Are you kidding me? Okay.
No, lawyers will tell you, many lawyers, that in the Lincoln Lawyer TV show, are actually surprisingly close.
No kidding.
Yeah. I've had, like, you know that part where Vinny walks around, he does this?
Oh, yeah.
Well, I've knelt down and I've done all those dramatic, sure, of course I have.
This is fantastic, man. Well, getting back into the jury side of things,
Mm-hmm.
whenever you're picking your jury, I'm sure that you have to also think for the other side of things too, and look at what they're looking for their team.
Right. Actually, the thing that is most interesting about that is because I work in a very niche environment. There's not many lawyers who do medical malpractice. And therefore, on the defense side, it's fairly niche. We see the same guys often. And there are some lawyers who I have to prepare because I know that they're really good at connecting with jurors.
Yeah.
So I have to think about how they approach it. I also have to, here's an example. I had a case one time where there were some fairly graphic photos of how terrible this ended up. I talked to a friend about my opponent. My friend said, I've tried a case against him. He's going to try to get those barred before, or he'll try to show them in the voir dire. He'll want to show them to the juror selection and see how many people go, oh, God, that's horrible.
So he can pop them.
So he can pop them. And so I truthfully wouldn't have thought to file a motion to bar him from doing that before we even got to the jury selection. But because I'm constantly afraid of making a mistake, I always check with my friends, and I ask my wife, and I go over and over and over to this stuff because, I think insecurity makes for a really good trial lawyer. You should. I mean, you have to have the bravery to go out there and say, I'm going to do this, and no one will ever tell that I'm nervous.
Yeah.
But you can't be so certain that you don't ask 17 different people, am I right or am I wrong? And people who tell you you're wrong. So anyway, my friend told me, watch out for Tim. He'll try to. Tim's a great guy. He's a defense lawyer, but he's smart. Mm-hmm. And I filed the motion, and sure enough, he was prepared to show the jurors because he wanted to knock out all those people who would be sympathetic to that terrible injury. And the judge went along with me. He said, no, we're not doing that.
This is incredible. And see, this is where it's about the comfortability. If you want to stay in the middle lane, that's when those things happen, and you lose those opportunities 100%.
Right. I was going to actually tell you today, I sent it to a friend. I have my phone here.
Yeah.
There's an article today in the Wall Street Journal. I don't read the Wall Street Journal. It popped up on Facebook. Mm-hmm. There's an article today about trial lawyers are now leaving these big, massive firms where there's 1,000 lawyers to start their own firms of just niche trial lawyers, because in those firms with 1,000 lawyers, 950 have never tried a case.
Yep.
And yet they're making all the big money because they push contracts and they do all these other things. And the trial lawyers think, well, we're going to leave, and if you need us, you're going to have to pay us.
Yep.
And that's happening in the big firms.
I just did a quick. This is being talked about everywhere now. It kind of blew up overnight.
Oh.
Yeah, like the Wall Street put it out there, and then now it's getting picked up by multiple syndications and talking about this.
Well, I know this is really off topic, but there's a big scare running through the legal industry right now about AI.
That's interesting.
And AI is helping us with jury selection, by the way. In fact, what happens is you can put into AI, legal-based AI closed-loop programs sometimes. I prefer those as opposed to open-loop. Closed-loop ones only draw law that's confirmed to have been written. As an open-loop one can go out there and find somebody who wrote a theoretical case.
Right.
And pull it like it's a real case. So anyway, The fear is that AI is going to wipe out a lot of lawyers, and it is. It absolutely is, because the other day I asked my AI program to write me a series of interrogatories on a fairly benign case, and I got 30 of them that were brilliant in a matter of 2 minutes, and it would have taken an associate, a day.
Yep.
So, but the thing is, what I do, like I told my wife about it, AI can't walk into a courtroom. Right. And neither can 98% of these other lawyers, and do it very effectively. And we do it effectively because it's me and it's Andrew and it's Holly and it's a team of 8 or 9 people. So.
Yeah. Well, and see, that's a great point. It's because AI's, everyone's going, well, it's going to take jobs. Well, it's going to take away some of the grunt work, and some of the harder things that nobody wanted to do anyway or thought to do. But you aren't going to take the lawyer out of the courtroom. You can't. And you can't take the personality off of a show. Spotify's trying, but they still can't. Now, with that being said, we're almost at the end of this. There's a lot of folks that want to know, Keith, I got a vacation coming up this weekend, man. How do I get out of this jury?
Yeah, actually, I wrote down, the only thing I wrote down coming in here were what are the biggest excuses.
I figured let's end on a good note.
Yeah. And, here's the ones we always hear. Here's an example. I try not to set a trial during harvest season because we have a lot of farmers around here. Yeah, and I just don't want them angry, and I don't blame them. Look, this is my time. I can't not be here. We try not to do it during times that like Christmas. We don't do it like that. The biggest ones that the people legitimately get out from are if they're a sole earner for their family, and if they don't work, they don't get paid. That becomes really problematic for the judges. Now, there are a lot of judges who say, "I'm sorry, but I can't. I'll have to let half the people go." Single parents, who don't have child care. Anyone who's got a surgery coming up will get out. Anyone who has a medication that makes it difficult for them to pay attention or stay awake. But, you'd be shocked. If you have a vacation and the judge says it's prepaid and you say, yeah, I've already bought my tickets, you're probably going to go.
Yeah.
You're probably going to walk. Because we don't want people who are angry about being there.
Or distracted because they got a surgery coming up or they got to pick up the kid in an hour or figure it out. Very fast. Okay, one final one. What is the best excuse you've ever heard someone raise their hand and go, listen, I just don't want to be here?
The best excuse I have ever heard in a trial is my own. And here's why. It wasn't that I didn't want to be there, but I got called to a vehicular homicide case in Union County, Illinois. And when I was practicing down in Carbondale, I lived in Union County. And a judge called me in and says, is there anybody who doesn't think they should be here? And I raised my hand. And first off, the judge was married to my niece. So the question is, do you know anybody in the case? The judge was married to my niece. The man who got killed, I went to church with.
Oh, no.
The defense lawyer for the defendant was my ex-wife's lawyer in our divorce. I said, Judge, I know everybody in this case. And he said, go away. But typically, that's it. Or they're not usually outrageous. They're usually pretty legit.
Right. And well, Keith, thanks so much for stopping by. I know we got to keep moving here, but coming up next month, we're going to be talking about medical malpractice on the 2 states, the Illinois side versus Missouri.
Okay.
And then we're going to wrap up the month with legal myths and misunderstandings. So that'll be fun. Thanks for your time.
Oh, happy to be here.
Take a quick break. We'll come back with more Daily Show on this Friday next.
With over 20 years of experience, Wilson's Tree Service has the expertise to handle all of your tree care needs. Licensed and fully insured, their team of experts are dedicated to providing reliable service. Plus, with a 24-hour emergency service line, Wilson's will always be there for you. Don't risk tackling that timber by yourself. Trust the local professionals at Wilson's Tree Service. Visit treeservicealtonil.org to get started today.
Discover Del Mar Public House, located in Godfrey's historic Clifton Schoolhouse. Enjoy bold flavors like homemade falafel, fish and chips, and rotating pasta favorites. Relax with local beers, half-price wine bottles, and summer poutine nights. The only thing missing is you. Open Wednesday through Sunday. Del Mar Public House, where great food, drinks, and friends come together. DelMarPublicHouse.com.
Do you need to declutter your space? Time to call me, the Queen of Junk. Since 1993, we have grown to be the leader in residential, commercial, and property management junk removal. At Sparks Junk Removal, we are eco-friendly. We recycle, donate, or repurpose items back into our community. Trash is our last resort to the landfill. Plus, with our all-inclusive service, our crews handle everything from labor to lifting and landfill fees. Give us a call or visit our website, sparksjunkremoval.net, to reclaim your space today.
When I got in the car accident at the ER, they gave me a prescription of hydrocodone. And over time, it took more medication to mask the pain. I moved over to drug seeking and found heroin and fentanyl. I went to the Centerstone rehab facility, and it was the best decision I ever made in my life. I have my own car, I have a job, there's nothing holding me back anymore.
When you need a project done right, on budget and on time, trust Gillahan Concrete. Gillahan handles every kind of project, big and small. Commercial, industrial, residential, from room additions and garages to patios, driveways, and more. Gillahan brings quality and experience to every job. Family owned with over 30 years of service to our community. Call today at 618-781-3914 or visit GillahanConcrete.com.
Accidents happen in a heartbeat, but lives change forever. Whether it's a car crash, workplace injury, medical malpractice, or wrongful death, you don't have to face the consequences alone. Keith Short and Associates brings over 33 years of experience and a reputation for fighting fiercely for your rights. For relentless representation that you can trust, call Keith Short and Associates at 618-254-0055 today for a free consultation.
You're listening to Our Daily Show with CJ Nasello on RiverBender.com.
Now I'm back and not ashamed to cry. Ooh, baby, here I am, signed, sealed, delivered, I'm yours. Here I am, baby. Oh, you got the future.
Welcome back. Daily Show. Jane and Danny. Jane, when were you on last? I feel like I just saw you. Did I see you soon?
You know, it was Music in the Park.
That's right. How did that go?
And it went phenomenal. We had some great bands this year, good turnout. The weather cooperated most of the time.
Wonderful.
So it was good. It was good. You'll see me again for Christmas.
I'm excited for Christmas. I want to talk to you about some of that because we could make that fun. Bethalto goes all out for Christmas. It's probably the best experience. And
Jane goes all out for everything. Anything she touches is a success.
Well, Danny, I was going to ask you because you've been, around the airport now for, of course, a few years, to say the least. And, working with Jane, what's it like on an event like this? And especially one that's become a regional staple, not really just a town-wide one.
Yeah, so Jane's awesome. I can't say enough about Jane, but it's really the entire planning committee that's involved. There's representatives from Bethalto Chamber of Commerce, Bethalto Spirit, EAA Chapter 864, of course, the airport. Great contributions from like Westar and Piston Aviation, and of course Speed Demons Car Club. It's all hands come in together to really help put it on, organize it, and have a great event.
Well, and honestly, it was so cool because last year we had a chance to talk to a few of the vendors, and it was really fun to go out there and do that. And just to see like the history of, just some of the vendors that are there and just their love for the event, the first timers that are there going, man, I can't wait to get back here. And as we're getting into Saturday, what can folks expect when they come in from 9 to 2?
Yeah, so kind of like what you've seen before. If you haven't been out there, you can expect airplanes, cars, food, vendors, crafts, bounce houses, and fun. How about that? It doesn't get much better.
There you go.
And best of all, free. Free for the entire, everything is free. So come out, look at planes on the ramp, everything from business jets to military, vintage aircraft, single engine, multi-engine, wide variety of all kinds of things. Even a quadcopter electric powered drone as it's promoted.
Wow.
So it's a single piloted. It'll be very unique. It'll be on display. It's coming up from Kentucky, so unique to this region.
So is there someone in there that flies it?
There's someone that sits in a single engine or single cockpit. It's all powered by batteries, all rechargeable, and it looks like a massive drone. So kind of unique.
Man, it's crazy what they're coming up with, though, in the sky, Well, and what I think's so cool is just whenever I go, just see all the kids that just love, if you don't think your child's going to love an airplane up close, you're wrong. You're wrong.
Yeah,
it's
and
so
how
cool.
often you get a chance to sit in some airplanes as well. So a lot of pilots open up their planes to allow kids to sit in, which is phenomenal as well.
Well, and now for the car show, too, it's no cost to go out and look at the cars, correct?
Yeah, no cost to spectate. It is $20 to register your car and participate, which goes to good causes, of course. But yeah, all varieties, cars, trucks, Jeeps, motorcycles. They have classes for just about anything you think of.
They were
Vintage or
full.
new.
Last year, they had a lot of cars in that.
They do.
Yeah.
And the weather wasn't even great last year.
No, it was
they
rough.
had a phenomenal turnout. So
was it rainy or was it the wind? Wind. That's what it was, because I was getting blown on to 255.
Yeah.
Yeah. I only
there's
went.
like remnants of a hurricane.
Yeah, that's right.
We still had it. We still had fun. Still had planes and cars and people come out. But this year the weather looks
perfect,
spot on.
Yeah, I mean it honestly is perfect.
Yeah.
And now, with that being said, there's the kid zone that you all have at this event is really cool too, because there's a ton of things going on in there. Who wants to fill us in on that?
So the Kids Zone is sponsored by the Chamber.
Really
so
cool.
the blow-ups, so they've got all the little blow-up bounce houses and slides and all that kind of stuff. All that is free. We do ask that the parents kind of stay with the kiddos, just for safety precautions. So we do ask that. Spirit will provide the barrel cars, so the kids can ride in the little barrel cars in the little grassy area, and we're happy to do that. Spirit will also have daffodils for sale. So we're thinking ahead to spring, and we'll be selling some daffodils, so look for that.
Wonderful.
And then we'll have food trucks. So the food trucks will be out there Saturday and Sunday. So those are at a cost if you want to buy something from the food trucks.
How many are we going to have, just because I'm nosy, Jane?
That's okay. It's good to be nosy. We're going to have 3 per day. So we'll have fruit crushers. And, of course, they have the wonderful fruit drinks and steak kebabs. Then we've got El Mezcal with their wonderful goodies. And then on Saturday, I'm going to mispronounce them, Schlotzkys. They've been out the farmer's market a couple times. They have great breakfast sandwiches and smash burgers.
Nice.
And then on Sunday will be Fathead. So that's the sauce shop now in Bethalto.
They have a great thing going, don't they?
Yeah, he's got phenomenal food
Have
as
you
well.
had them?
Not yet.
Oh, Terry's been on the show. They are rocking. They were just in Schnucks for a couple of months or something like that with their sauce.
So they're gonna, they have. And so they just opened a new shop. So what I love is they're all local vendors. So that is phenomenal for us.
This is cool.
Yeah, so that's on Saturday, and then Sunday, we'll have the farmer's market there.
I like that. Now, didn't you do this last year where you kind of merged the two?
I think it's been 3 years
3 years now?
Right. Yep.
I like
3
that
or
you
4
have
years,
that.
yeah.
How has that transition been? Has it been a good addition?
Oh my gosh, it's a great way to end our season. This is our final market of the year. It is a phenomenal way. We get loaded with vendors. And then, of course, we'll have lots of pumpkins and mums and fall decoration, which will be in the mood
That's
for
wonderful.
with that little cooler weather. So it's a great place to come.
That's cool. And with that being said, I really encourage you. Now, how much is the Kids Zone for like the barrel rides? You're looking at me like, CJ, you're crazy here.
Yeah, you are. They're free. They're free.
Well, and Danny, take me through the preparation the airport has to go through, because I mean, you guys are still a functioning airport throughout the year.
Yeah, you'll see planes taking off and landing during this weekend.
That's what I find fascinating, is the logistics of it. How are you able to make this work?
A lot of good volunteers.
Oh, there you go.
A lot of great workers as well. The planning committee does a great job. So we started planning for this literally after last year's event.
I bet.
We meet just about every monthly to make sure logistics and everything's in order. But we got volunteers out there to keep families and kids safe away from moving airplanes and keep planes away from kids and families. It's a very safe operation. I've seen that. It is. Yeah,
it's perfect. Well, and that's why I think it's so unique, because it's wild in a cool way to see the planes taking off and still like the airport functioning with folks touring different like it's still having the event go on. It's so cool.
Yeah.
It's just a neat feeling to be able to walk onto the tarmac.
Yeah.
You feel like you're in forbidden territory.
You feel like you're Nixon.
Right? You're not supposed to be out here, but you can be out there.
You feel like you're Nixon when he gives the peace sign.
Yeah.
Like everyone wanted to go give the peace sign on the helicopter. We'll take a quick break. Cool. Can I pay a quick bill?
Yeah.
I got to take a quick break here. 9:30. We're going to come back and talk about the Sunday activities, talk about this event overall, talk about the great things the airport's up to, the chamber, and we'll come back and just hang out a little bit more after this one.
Throughout all life stages, you need someone in your corner, guiding you on your health and wellness journey. At OSF Healthcare, that's your primary care provider. Your OSF primary care provider is there for every stage of life. Find a provider today at osfhealthcare.org/primary.
Not sure if you've noticed, but those advertised prices from the other dealers are just a bunch of blah, blah, blah. At Roberts Motors, the advertised price is the price you pay. And that, my friend, is great news for you. Don't fall for their so-called incentives that will leave you banging your head against the wall. Go with Roberts Motors. Prices you can trust and people you will like. That's the Roberts Motors way. And trust me, it's the way to go.
Has free checking become a thing of the past? Not if Liberty has anything to say about it. With 3 free personal checking options and even a free business checking account, free is alive and well at Liberty Bank, the local bank that gives you free checking choices and more cashing in your pocket. Bank locally, bank Liberty. For more information, visit www.bankliberty.com.
You're listening to Our Daily Show with CJ Nasello on RiverBender.com.
It's the head dead yet. And all the boys in the newsroom gotta run and bet. Get the widow on the set. We need dirty laundry. Yeah, we do.
Welcome back, Daily Show, 9:32. Back with the Fly-In Festival. Jane and Danny in the studio. Danny, I put Jane in first because she is a celebrity.
I was at an event last week and saw Jane there, and I couldn't even talk to her. Everybody come up and interrupt. So
every time. Well, and Jane, it's really cool to see all the hard work you put in throughout the year too, not just for this event, but through others. And we're going to talk about those as well. And as we get into Sunday, because it's too big to be a one-day event. 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. on Sunday, September the 28th. What are we doing then?
Young Eagles flights.
This is cool.
So EA Chapter 864, they donate their pilots, their time, their aircraft. They volunteer all of the entire day. Mm-hmm. Kids can register ages 8 through 17 on their website, eachapters.org, and get a free introductory flight in an aircraft with a licensed pilot at the airport.
That is the coolest
Again, no
thing.
cost, 100% free. Just need a parental signature waiver.
What age again?
8 to 17.
Wow.
So it's limited this year. Previous years, there's been long lines, so it's all pre-registration online. And checking this morning, I believe it is all full. You can still go on and get on like a wait list. So if anyone drops out, keep an eye on that website. Slots may open up. But there's no cooler program. So.
We have an update.
What do you got?
I am on the website right now. We need 18 more spots. That's it. There are spots that just opened up, but there could be a wait list. So go ahead and fill out the spot and see what happens. And this is so cool, Danny. Like, seriously, this is so easy to do. You just go.
Where else do you get to go get a free flight?
In a plane. And now, what's the route look like? I've never asked you that. So where do they go?
Pretty close to the airport. It's only 15, 20 minutes, so you can only go so far.
But still.
It's a pre-coordinated route worked out with air traffic control because they're doing so many flights. They occasionally go down by the river if they can and back to the airport. So
so
within the region.
Do they stay in Bethalto or do they hit?
In the vicinity, right? So
really cool.
If it's if you live close, sometimes they try to fly over your house so you can kind of see where you live. So that's neat.
That is awesome. And that was that link we took you to. Again, that's eaachapters.org. There's a hyperlink on RiverBender. We'll put it back in there so you guys can just go right to it.
And if you can't get a Young Eagles flight, Piston Aviation will be on site all weekend long as well, selling Discovery flights. Mm-hmm. So not free, you have to pay, but you can go up and do an introductory flight to see what's flying like. No commitment, no obligation.
Yeah.
Other than a little bit of money for the experience, but that's like a 30-minute, 45, 60-minute long flight to see if you want to maybe do flight training or maybe not.
And how cool of an experience too. And that's where I think it's just so awesome with this is that you wouldn't think that, especially in our community, to be able to say, once a year we can get up and see if we want to be a pilot.
I think it's one of the coolest things that the chapter does. So
100%. And as Jane was saying, the farmers market takes, but what time is that? Is that all day throughout that Sunday?
It'll be 9 to 2.
9 to 2?
9 to 2. Some of the vendors may leave at 1, but it'll be 9 to 2 that day. Mm-hmm.
What I think's wild is just all the thousands of people that always respond to the Facebook event. You know, it's like they know it's coming and they know that they're going to bookmark it this year.
We get questions throughout the year.
Do you really?
Is the flying coming back? And of course, that's what 29th annual. That's what we do. We love doing it.
And I'm sure the 30th is getting ready to be planned.
Yeah, surprises on that one, though.
I told him to cross out the 30 and put 21 back in there. Who wants to be 30? But getting back into just the overall state of the airport, too, you guys have a lot of really cool things that have been happening there recently.
Yeah, so we're really embracing the community aspect of it. Having community events, not just the fly-in, but EA does pancake breakfast now a couple times a year. So that's pretty neat. It's planes flying, you can see planes up close, not just at the fly-in, but at pancake breakfast now. And what I'm really excited about is next year we got a really, really cool event called the Air Race Classic.
That's what I was going to ask you about. Not to cut you, I was really excited about this. This is a female pilot event?
Yeah, it's a nationwide event. We put in to be a host a couple years ago, and we were selected to be the 2026 host. I believe it's the 47th annual event, so it's very well established, and we will be bringing in female pilots from around the country to start off and kick off their 4-day-long 2,300-mile journey on their race route. So very cool. We're honored to be a host. We're partnering with great organizations and people and companies again to help put this on. But the staff is doing a great job with the plan. This has been the flying's a year of planning. This has been 2.5 years.
No kidding.
So we're real excited.
Now, can the public, whenever this starts, can they watch and all that?
Yeah, so there'll be certain events that we will open up to the public, like the takeoff.
Gotcha.
We're excited for that one. So all the planes will take off within an hour of each other, one after another. So that's pretty neat. We plan on opening that up to the public on the takeoff morning and allowing everyone to kind of bring out their lawn chairs and watch the morning of planes leave. Cool. So.
Man, I love this. And overall, airport looking good and functioning pretty well and growing.
Yeah, no, we're doing great. We got great tenants, like I said, Westar and all the T-hanger tenants and Piston. Everybody's there. Everyone seems happy. Planes are flying. We've had some really great weather this summer. It hasn't rained at all. So
the last month it's been the desert out here.
Yeah, we're seeing record numbers of aircraft activity. So we're excited for that.
Good. That's huge. Jane, I haven't forgotten about you.
Oh, I'm good.
How's the chamber?
Good. We actually are going to have the gentleman that's bringing the drone speaking to us tomorrow. So we're really excited about that. Looking forward to a good attendance at tomorrow's meeting. So we're moving forward and doing lots of good things. I do want to thank some of our chamber members who are sponsors as well.
For sure.
So the EAA would not go without Westar, the EAA chapter, the chamber, of course, and the car show people. Speed Demons. And so they're very pivotal to us being able to keep this as a free event as with any sponsorships. And of course, Danny's looking for sponsorships for the ARC, so remember that because that's an international, that's going to get coverage out the kazoo.
Well, and too, I mean, it's one of those things where, Jane, the bigger thing is everyone always kind of, I don't want to say complains, but goes, why can't we have, the bigger shows here? Why can't we have the bigger events? Because those things do cost money, and we got to have corporate sponsors and businesses that, like your guys, that always have them, that step up, but we need more of them.
Absolutely. It takes everybody, and we've got to have the facilities.
Yeah.
So we're very fortunate. We've got this airport that we can handle this type of facility and have some larger events.
Facility, check. We just need some more checks. I don't know.
Always. We can always use that. But we're really excited. It's going to be a great event. It's going to be a beautiful weekend.
Yeah.
Great parking, easy in and out. It's just one of those things that there's no frustration with it at all.
Yeah.
Sometimes I'm like, I don't want to go and walk a mile to get there,
Well, and it seems like the volunteers are happy to be there too.
Absolutely. Mm-hmm. Especially when the weather's nice. So it's going to be a phenomenal weekend. And the kids get really excited. And when Danny was talking about taking the kids on a ride, the minute when you're working the blow-ups and over in the kids area, when a kid's just been on a flight. Because they are just beaming from ear to ear, and they're nonstop talking, and so it's just really fun to see the joy it brings them.
That's awesome.
Just really that joy.
Well, and you guys do have this great opportunity this weekend, September the 27th and the 28th. Now, getting into Saturday again, 9 a.m. until 2 p.m. both days, free to attend.
Right. Yep.
Free parking. In St. Louis, if that was an event, that's $75 right there, already free. And now you can tour the airplanes on the aircraft room. And to give me some of the planes that are going to be out there.
Yeah, so Pivotal Helix, that's the electric-powered quadcopter.
That's cool.
Aero Careers, which is an organization in St. Louis, they're bringing the new Spirit of St. Louis modified Lancer. So that is what Charles Lindbergh's grandson flew across the Atlantic to replicate the flight.
No kidding.
They got the whole history laid out there, too. Very cool
That's
airplane.
awesome.
You can sit in the seat even. They're very open to sharing the experiences in the cockpit and everything with it. So they'll be there. Of course, some vintage military like Stearmans, things like that. And flight school training aircraft as well, and like I said, business jets, single engine, multi-engine aircraft.
I think I'm going to go out there just because I can maybe see if I can snag like a picture like it's my plane for about, like how the social media people do it. They go on someone else's plane and like, man, off to another meeting.
Yeah, and then make sure you tag the airport Facebook page.
Yeah,
of course. Yeah. Of course.
And then the guy that owns the plane is going to go, hey, what are you doing on my airplane?
But that's what they're there for.
No, it's so cool.
That's what they're there for.
Well, and that's what I thought was so fun, because even before all the weather and the wind picked up that day, before all that happened, you could still see the families coming together and just the kids pointing them out and just really excited about it. And what I think's cool is just the layout of the airport and the way that the facility is. When you're inside like of a Piston Aviation or one of those buildings, it's cool to be that close and see the planes on the runway and all that. It looks awesome.
Yeah, there's no better view from maybe the control tower, but from Piston, no better view. You see both runways right at the intersection, all the activity, taking off, landing, taxiing. You're right there.
Now, with the kids zone for this weekend, is there time? Is it the same time as the event? 9 to 2, both days?
9 to 2, yeah.
And what should we recommend for parking or any logistics or any questions that come up when people ask?
It's real easy. If you need to plug an address into your GPS, do St. Louis Regional Airport, 8 Terminal Drive. They'll get you to the admin building, to the parking lot. From there, there'll be volunteers to kind of shuffle you into the grass area for parking or handicap parking if needed. It's all lined up. It'll all be organized. So look for the volunteers. They're there to help you.
Absolutely. What else? Am I missing anything?
I think you did. I think you did a great job as always.
I'd say questions. Check out our social media. St. Louis Regional Airport Facebook page, stlouisregional.com. Also, the Bethalto Chamber of Commerce Facebook page and the Bethalto Chamber of Commerce website as well.
I knew I forgot something. It would be helpful if we gave all that information. Sorry about that.
Or just come out to the airport. The volunteers will help you and direct you where to go. You can't get lost.
Absolutely. Well, seriously, keep up the great work. I'm excited to learn more about the event next year. I think that's awesome. And also, the 30th annual fly-in is going to be great. And Jane, can't wait to talk to you again about the Bethalto Christmas events and all that fun stuff.
So, check out our community while you're here. If you're coming from out of town, we do get a lot of folks from St. Louis and surrounding area, Litchfield. Check out our community. It's a great
Some good little restaurants.
Yeah.
Really good restaurants,
too.
There are. And you have a chance to...
parks.
Yeah.
And parks.
Bethalto does have some really great parks.
We do.
Yeah.
We do.
Well, there you go. Hey, for more information, go to the Facebook page. That's the 29th Annual Fly-In Festival, the Wings and Wills Fly-In, and then we'll link everything in a write-up on RiverBender.com. Remember, there's no entry fee, but you do have to pay for the food at the food trucks. Fair. We'll take a quick break, and we'll come back with more Daily Show next.
Guiding you on your health and wellness journey. At OSF Healthcare, that's your primary care provider. Your OSF primary care provider is there for every stage of life. Find a provider today at osfhealthcare.org/primary.
Not sure if you've noticed, but those advertised prices from the other dealers are just a bunch of blah, blah, blah. At Roberts Motors, the advertised price is the price you pay. And that, my friend, is great news for you. Don't fall for their so-called incentives that will leave you banging your head against the wall. Go with Roberts Motors. Prices you can trust and people you will like. That's the Roberts Motors way. And trust me, it's the way to go.
Has free checking become a thing of the past? Not if Liberty has anything to say about it. With 3 free personal checking options and even a free business checking account, free is alive and well at Liberty Bank, the local bank that gives you free checking choices and more cashing in your pocket. Bank locally, bank Liberty. For more information, visit www.bankliberty.com.
You're listening to Our Daily Show with CJ Nasello on RiverBender.com.
We aren't beer drinking in our garage.
No, not yet.
Not yet.
We'll see where the night takes us.
I figured I'd just throw out some dad music there.
Vibe into it. That'll be good.
You ever hear your dad, especially probably in our generation of kids, hear that in the garage, probably stay away. Dad's having a bad.
Let him be for now.
So, you are out of town.
I am out of town as of this moment, in theory.
Yes, you are.
In theory,
this
I'm
is
gone.
airing at Friday at 10:30.
So goodbye.
You're gone.
I'm gone. Yeah, so sorry about that. But
What are we
will be
gonna do?
back. I know.
Are you coming back?
I will come back
okay,
eventually.
good.
So
Wanted to
that's
make
good. No, thank you for your concern. I promise I'll be back.
Man,
so I look forward to being back.
We tape this in the afternoon, and you can just, my hairspray is just giving up. It's
I'm avoiding the camera because I looked at myself. It's like, oh my god, it's a day.
We're gonna get through this together.
It's a day.
It's okay because today I thought all day it was Thursday.
Oh, that's unfortunate.
I'm
but
like,
today's Wednesday.
Yeah, this
that
sucks. Yeah, this is awful. There's nothing
fun. Or is
fun.
it Friday? That's complicated. I don't know.
You know what? Honestly, every day's Friday in my mind.
That's the way to do it. Probably.
No, it's not.
I don't know. That would be kind of disappointing.
It's not.
Yeah.
Not at all.
Okay, well, I'm sorry about that.
So, with that being
we'll
said,
transition now.
it's at 10:30, so we aren't starting off with depression.
Fair. We're sliding into
we're
it.
already in the show.
Yeah, we're good.
You went to the Renaissance Festival, or as people call it that are in there, Renfest.
The Ren Fair, yeah. It was intense.
Ren Fair.
I think. I don't know. Here's the thing, CJ. I have friends who are really into this. Like, they travel to Ren Fairs around the country, and they really love it. And I have never been before. And so I went in with zero expectations, zero idea what it was going to be like. I was completely open mind, open slate.
Look, there's Sydney. Look
there's
at that.
Me. Yep. You like my little antlers that I had on?
What was that supposed to?
I don't know. Like, I don't know. So
did you make that yourself?
I wish I did. No, I did not. But
did you buy them online?
I did. I bought them on site, actually, at the Ren Fair.
On site? Wow.
At the Ren Fair.
Incredible.
Thank you. Yeah, that was kind of what I was. So I don't know if you've ever been. But
I've not.
I'll fill you in.
Please.
So I was unprepared. So I got there, and well, first of all, I'll say I dressed up in my little corset that I got online, and then we went to the Land of Goshen Market in Edwardsville for their Customer Appreciation Day, which was really fun, and that was great.
Did you go in the corset?
Yes, I did.
Wow.
So,
did you take pictures
very
for
Renaissance.
Did you take pictures for Riverbender in your corset?
Oh,
dang it! I thought you were gonna say you were working. That would have been even better.
No, that would have been better. No, this time I was there for fun, but no, it was fun. I was dressed up. But anyway, so we got our requisite iced coffees and our fruits and veggies for the week, and we went on to Ren Fair. And when we got there, I, again, no idea what to expect, had on a dress and a corset and my boots, and was like, all right, this is my outfit. There were people there in the most elaborate costumes I have ever seen in my life.
Well, I'm sure.
It was
I
impressive.
actually know somebody that did the Renaissance Festivals
Really?
for a long time. Oh, and like traveled as like, I don't think she did describe herself as a gypsy, but I mean, she was like, had a trailer and just took off. I mean,
wow.
she was doing everything you can imagine and had some success with it too.
Good for her. Yeah, it turns out that
There's
Ren
a
Fair
community
people,
for everything.
There is, and the Ren Fair people, it turns out, like the actors and stuff like that are doing it. It's just theater kids who really liked Beowulf. It turns out, so they were really.
I feel like you better be careful on how you say that.
That's my one joke for the day.
That was like a stab, though.
No, I like Beowulf too. I was a theater
is
kid
Beowulf?
too. It's
I've
a poem. It's a really long medieval poem. So it's
I
not
thought it
that
was a
good,
show.
but- I do think they turned it into like a movie, but yeah, it's a whole thing. Grendel, swords. Yeah, it's a whole thing.
So I feel like you're like, I feel like I'm not in the league right now.
Yeah, you're kind of letting me down with your like. It's coming out right now that I was a nerd and you were a jock. Like,
No,
I can see that really clearly.
I believe it or not, I was a Star Wars kid and Harry Potter, but
good for you. Yeah.
Game of Thrones kind of lost me.
I couldn't get into Game of Thrones.
And like The Hobbit and all those things. I'm like, Frodo might want the ring, but I don't want Frodo.
That's so disappointing. No, The Lord of the Rings is a pretty good time. Me and Mike were talking about that upstairs.
Yeah, I know you guys always do it. I'm like, well, I know parts of it. I can at least listen in.
You can jump in every now and then.
No, I can't, because that's when I get in trouble. So
No.
you said recanted.
Recanted?
No, it's great you did. I was thinking the other day, have you noticed that the word lamented has been like overutilized lately?
See, I think that's underutilized.
Do you
We
really?
should lament more often.
God dang, man. Every article, it's like, there's at least a chance of a lament.
See, I never put, maybe I should start. Maybe I should put that in there and I'd really be winning if I did.
A conventional way of describing someone who has died or something that has been lost or ceased to exist.
Yeah, that's a lament. lament, man.
But see, now what happens if it's a verb? Like if someone's lamenting something?
I think that works. That's like to lament.
Yeah, no,
this.
hold on here. No, lament means to express one's deep grief about something.
Exactly.
So I'm glad we're learning about this together. Okay.
This is good.
See,
I don't really know how we got here, but like I do think it's a great time to just a little vocab lesson.
It's the art of the weave. With that being said, you went to the Renaissance Festival, which was out in Wentzville.
It was. It was quite a
this
drive.
thing was out at Forest Park.
No, apparently I don't know if it ever used to be, but no, this
Are
wasn't.
you sure this thing was never at Forest Park?
I don't know if it ever used to be. I just said that, but I'm not sure. No, I'm just teasing. But yeah, I don't know. It was in Whitsville though, so it was kind of a long drive. So we got out there, and there were people in the most elaborate costumes I've ever seen, and also in t-shirts and shorts.
No, you're right. Wow.
Was it always in Winsville?
I don't think. It might be.
I don't know.
Wow.
I'm new to this.
It says returns to Wentzville.
I am really not the expert here. I am new to the Ren
Maybe
Fair.
they do Shakespeare in the park or
They do
something.
Shakespeare
Okay,
in the park.
that's my that's my ignorance. That's my I would, but I'd heckle.
Yeah, would you really? I think that would actually be what Shakespeare wanted.
Yeah.
I think.
You know, to hell with you, Mary Beth. To hell with you. You know, I don't know.
Mary Beth, yeah. That'd be pretty good.
Isn't that her name?
Macbeth, I think.
Oh, damn.
It's okay. It's
Okay, so this thing started on September the 13th.
Yeah, it's like a month-long adventure. So,
Well,
I don't know.
I mean, this is a big deal. I mean, they got like discount tickets at spots.
It's
and
hardcore. Yeah, you had to pay to
Wow.
get in, which shocked me. So that's on me.
See,
I was
I don't understand that.
unprepared.
How do you have to pay to get in, then
You have
pay
to
to
pay
do
to
the
get in
things?
everywhere.
But then
I
you have
don't
to
know.
pay to do the things.
Exactly. It was an expensive little weekend. I'm gonna be honest with you. It was not like that good. So
They do
what
wedding
did you do?
packages at
Do
the
they
Renaissance
really?
Festival. This is something I'm learning. You just got super excited. So, admission to the festival for the bride and groom, private rooms for you guys to get ready, admission to the festival for a wedding officiant, and then admission to the festival for up to 2 photographers.
Wow.
Wow.
Where do you get? So this is my first time, and it was like chill. Like you hung out and you saw the jousts, and there were all kinds of things. But I'm trying to picture where you would get
You
married.
can pick.
You can pick.
You can pick the chapel, the pirate ship, Joan of Arc. I didn't know you can get married in Joan of Arc, but I guess there's an exhibit. The St. Louis stage, the Fairy Wing Forest.
Wow.
I might be in, or Mermaid Cove, which is sounding pretty tempting.
That sounds pretty cool too. Yeah.
Pretty tempting.
The fairy forest.
Oh,
I mean,
no, and these things seat pretty good. I mean, some of them seat up to 250. The pirate ship
Oh my
and
gosh.
Joan of Arc seats up to 250.
Wow. Shout out to Joan. That's wild.
Wow. Then some of them seat up to 60. But you can actually do like the reception there and everything.
I
Wow.
had no idea. I don't know if I'd like that though, because you're like hanging out.
You can do a private joust box.
Now that's cool.
This is part
There
of
we
it's
go.
all inclusive for 6, but it's $500 per joust.
Oh my gosh. I don't know. That's wild.
Isn't that one run?
I think so. Okay, so we watched a joust.
Okay, tell me about the joust. Is it like a
Okay.
joust one event?
Yeah, it was like a 30-minute event, and they had their little
And that's
sticks.
one joust.
And yeah, so
Okay.
they ran through with their horses, and they like collected rings on their sticks, and then they came and they smacked
I
each
think
other with
Jackie
the
and I
sticks.
know what we're doing for
I
our
think you guys should go.
I think we're gonna do this for our wedding party.
I know you guys had other plans, but
What the
like
hell? No, I
honestly-
think for just our wedding party, we
Oh,
just
there
do
you
that,
go.
you know, and say,
There
hey,
you go.
let's do this, you know.
That'd be fun. No, it sounds like that would be a very fun
Sorry,
time.
fill me in on jousting. 'Cause
No,
I am curious.
that's about it.
So
like
it's
the
30
horses run, they run and smack each other with the sticks, and you're like, wow.
They don't like point them at each other and knock them off the horse.
They don't actually knock them off the horse.
Oh,
'cause
that's
like,
bull crap.
You know,
See,
yeah.
no, I'm here for authenticity.
But there was some pretty impressive acting of someone who fell off the horse, and there was a little girl who cried because she thought he died. So, you know, that's pretty intense.
So how'd he fall off his horse?
Do you want me to demonstrate? Like,
Yeah, I mean, like, I like, what was the, did he get hit?
Yeah, so he got hit with the wooden stick. I don't know.
Did he get like?
He got like his shield got like smacked basically, so it
Oh,
made the big
Jesus.
noise. I know, I'm sorry to disappoint. And then he just like kind of slid off the horse. Like I could demonstrate, but I don't have that in me. I'm not an actor. So, but it was pretty impressive. I'll be honest with you.
I just am more curious about the damn weddings here.
Yeah, that's fascinating.
I mean, now I don't want to go to the jousting party. I thought like it was like the old school. What was that movie that everyone loved in the 90s? Do you know what? A Knight's Tale?
Yeah, that sounds familiar.
I think it was called A Knight's Tale.
That sounds familiar.
It was in 2001.
That
My
counts.
apologies.
That's basically the
A Knight's
90s.
Tale. But I thought that's what it was. We would go see these guys that are like willing to put it all on the line
They
here.
should have been. They should have been willing to sacrifice, but
man.
they just, they kind of let me down. I'm going to say the St. Louis Ren Fair authenticity level, I don't know.
We want to see blood, damn it.
I'm kidding.
No, Sydney can't see blood. We figured that
No,
out.
I faint. But anyway. Yeah,
So the festival, it turns out, in a giant forest.
Yeah. What do you know? There and clearly lots of stages and nooks and crannies with the fairy forest and the mermaid cove, etc.
I got to see what some of this looks like.
Yeah,
like,
you
I'm
gotta-
honestly fascinated.
There's like literally no way to describe it beyond just like pulling it up.
Experience the realm.
I'm gonna be honest with you, CJ. I went into this not really knowing what to expect.
That's what I'm curious about. Okay, see, that's how I would go.
Yeah,
And
right?
then my problem is I would have to be drinking to really enjoy this.
Here's what I learned about the Ren Fair. Turns out, day drinking, that's what it's all about.
Is that really what it's
Yeah.
for? Oh, man,
we
I might
finished
be
our
in.
joust, and my friend was like, all right, time to get our meads. And I'm like, awesome.
Your
Sign me
meads.
up.
You had real mead?
We had mead and spiked apple cider. It was really good. So,
How,
shout out to the Ren Fair.
How was that?
It was actually really good and really strong, and the Ren Fair amped up and fun as the day went on, and it was just a good time. Yeah, I've learned a life lesson through this, which is that
no, I mean, hold on here. I want to just say something.
Yeah, no, let's hear it.
I thought they had like plastic swords and they were just kind of flipping them around here. I got to apologize to the Renfest. This is okay. I mean, this is kind of what I expected. Is this what you experienced?
Yeah, this was cool, right?
Yeah,
like
so
they're
hold on.
hitting each other.
Jesus, could I be any more zoomed out here? Let me scroll over here. Look, see, there you go. That's what I'm looking at here.
They're hitting each other. The horses are like running around.
see,
it's
now
impressive.
But they could technically fall off the horse if they're hitting the shield.
If you decided to go rogue and hit your partner really hard, you could knock them off. I bet so. Yeah.
So someone acted very well.
Yeah, so shout out to people who acted. I assume acted. I don't know. He popped back up in the end and was like, "This is my horse Rhesus," and everyone could pet the horse. So that was cool. Big fan of
awesome.
Rhesus the horse.
So do they travel with this?
I think so. So I'm not really so I'm not an expert
fair,
here.
fair.
But my friend was telling me that yes, I think they travel in like troops basically. So kind of like Shakespeare, like they travel in groups together or like a carnival. So it's kind of interesting. They go all over, and their Ren Fair is just like year round around the country, and like big ones too. So,
I bet.
Yeah, like this was bigger than I expected. I had no idea what to expect, and it was like the entire forest. So shout out. So yeah, it was really cool.
Did you learn anything about renting?
I learned.
I
I learned a lot, CJ. I learned a lot.
Did you?
No, I learned a good life lesson, which is like if you go into something prepared to have fun, you'll probably have fun. And if you go into something like, oh, this is gonna suck, then it's probably gonna suck.
You know, I'm realizing that's kind of life, because life sucks, but you got to learn to either smile and enjoy it or just be miserable.
Literally,
you know?
yeah. That's all you can do is like, there's a lot of bummers out there, but you just gotta go in like this is gonna be
bums.
fun.
There's a lot of bums out there, Sydney.
Yeah, two of them we're talking right now. But anyway, yeah, no, you just gotta go in like this will be fun, and that's the energy that like you bring to it, and it actually turned out to be really fun, and I was impressed. People were really bought into it too. So big shout out to people for being like really into it, because then I was able to get really into it, you know?
Did they make you feel comfortable getting into the role?
Yeah, like I don't know about you,
Did
but
you
like,
talk like them?
I did not. I did miss
come
an
on.
opportunity
Yeah,
there.
I'm a little disappointed.
I know.
in
I
that.
could have gone harder, but I did not. So.
That's okay. Are you going to go next year?
I do think I'll go back. Yeah, it was a good time.
You think?
I do plan to go back. I got my tarot cards read there, and that was an experience.
Let's hurry about it when we come back from a break. We'll come back with Sydney. Blog Talk continues.
What's up? It's Mike Keith. What's up, bro? Back to spotlight other amazing alumni and how they discovered their path at Lewis and Clark. Let's jump into it. This is Dwight Wirtz, president of Wirtz Welding and Tank Service, the nation's premier distributor of tank trailer parts. Dwight has been an outspoken and long-time supporter of the college and is the current chairperson of Lewis and Clark Board of Trustees. Oh, and he's a Lewis and Clark grad.
I'm Dwight Wirtz, and I am a trailblazer. Macias Insurance Agency, providing quality products with extremely competitive prices. As an independent provider, we source multiple companies to offer the best rates possible, covering auto, home, business, and life insurance. Our goal is to provide quality service that meets and exceeds customer expectations. You can rest easy knowing the Macias team is working round the clock to ensure that both you and the most important parts of your life are covered. Our qualified professionals make the insurance process easy so you can live carefree and focus on what matters most. Visit MaciasInsuranceAgency.com today to find out what our team can do for you.
Looking for the best barbecue in Madison County? Head over to Carver's Barbecue in Godfrey, Illinois. From loaded barbecue nachos to mouth-watering pulled pork, brisket, ribs, and more, Carver's serves up award-winning flavors you'll love. Family-owned, Carver's is all about fresh, made in-house dishes served daily. Come visit us at 2716 Groveland in Godfrey, or give us a call at 618-467-9999. Order online, get it catered, or stop by for the best smoked meats around. Where great flavors meet family tradition, you'll find Carver's Barbecue.
You're listening to Our Daily Show with CJ Nasello on RiverBender.com.
Dear God. Welcome back. The Daily Show, Friday. What time is it?
It could be any time at this point.
I got to
Time
judge
doesn't mean
this
anything.
because I
Yeah.
started at 10:35. So
theory.
45. It's around 10:49.
I'm gonna be very impressed if I watch this back and you hit it. Like I'm gonna be like I'll owe you like an energy drink or something.
I wouldn't do that. Donate to my addiction.
I am concerned. It would be very enabling of me.
Yeah,
but,
it would be bad. But we'll find out on Friday.
Yeah, we'll see how it goes.
So, Ren Fair is not spelled as I would expect it to be spelled.
I had to Google this. I'll
Okay,
be honest with
that's
you.
fair.
I was like, well, I don't know exactly how to put this, but I just kind of figured it out as we went along.
You're breaking them some hard news. I don't know how to put this to you.
I know how to put this, but you're spelled with an E at the end. That's weird.
So, you actually went full send with your comment. This wasn't even like a Daily Show joke. You actually put it in there that most of the shows are just theater kids who love Beowulf.
Yeah, I have maybe one joke a week that I managed to make, and so there it is. It's in the
How
blog.
do you think
it's
of
in
it?
there.
Because it's a lot different whenever you're like me and you just spout it off and
Yeah,
forget
shout out
half
to
of
you
it.
for being that
But
kind of person.
when you see it, then you can actually visualize if it's going to land.
Yeah, so I once had a professor who told me humor was the hardest thing to write, and I was like, oh, I'll figure it out. And it turns out, no, humor's extremely hard to write, and I don't know if I land it. So I just put them in there, and I hope that they
I think they're very good. They're
Thank
chuckles.
you.
They're chuckles.
Thank you. That's all I'm asking for is a chuckle.
So you got your tarot.
Yeah, I got
I've
my
been
tarot
saying that
today.
wrong forever,
I
and you've
did too for a
never.
really long
Oh, did you?
time.
Okay, so
Yeah.
I was actually going to get ready to like jump down you because you were not telling me I said it
Call me
wrong.
out, yeah.
But now that I know you said it wrong too, like Elise from National Great Rivers Museum came in on Wednesday and she told me that it's tarot, and I said,
like it turns out. Who knew? I don't know anything
I thought
about
it was
this
tarot.
stuff. Yeah, and I don't blame you for that because why is it
What an
spelled that
American
way?
way to say tarot cards. Can I have some tarot card readings?
But why is it spelled that way? Let's just call it out. I don't know.
Who would even, come up with that word?
Literally,
It's a weird word.
I don't know.
It's like
We're gonna
route.
find out.
Is it
It's
route or route? See, I think it's route if you're driving somewhere.
That's
like I'm
fair.
gonna route you.
It's
No, it's not.
situational.
I feel like now that I'm saying it out loud, I realize how stupid I've been for a long time. It's route.
No, CJ.
Yeah,
I'm just-
even you're like
no,
this is
I'm
friggin'.
just I'm a Midwesterner, so I'm a route girl. But
I
that's
think
just me.
it's all.
I don't know.
But see, now that I think about it, I'm like route sounds well, but no, it doesn't. Because then I'm like,
That sounds better than Route 66, doesn't it?
see, now that's where I'm getting it from.
Yeah,
Okay,
I
I was
think.
wondering why in the heck I kept saying that. You got to get your kicks on Route 66.
Thank you. Okay, there we go.
Yeah,
I think.
No,
Yeah.
you're right.
So,
We're both
yeah.
right.
So we're winning this Friday. Good
Anyone
for
else
us.
give me crap for all I say? I'm not even gonna say it.
It's not even worth.
You got
them.
your tarot cards read.
Yeah.
So what is the process? Because I always get asked, like, there's times people like want to do interviews to read my tarot cards.
That'd be kind of fun.
No,
maybe?
I say no because I'm like I don't know what's going on here. I'm not saying I believe in it, but I'm just saying I don't want the bad juju.
No, literally. So here's the thing. So I went in and I was like, I've never done this before.
You had a couple of meads.
I had a couple of meads. So I was like, what's the harm? No, I went in. I had never done it before. I was excited. I thought it was cool. I think tarot card readings are cool and interesting a lot of the times, even though I agree with you that I'm kind of like, maybe true, maybe not. Maybe it's just
I just don't want to take the chance because what if I take the chance and it is real and then I get some Grim Reaper thing?
Yeah,
and
literally.
then I'm dead tomorrow.
There is a death card. I got warned about that. They were like, death card, but don't anticipate that means death. That could mean like an ending. And I'm like, that's too big
and that's
for me.
even still creepy.
Yeah,
I don't
that
want
is
anything
creepy.
to do. Life's going okay right now.
Yeah, I'm just
just
going vibing.
That,
I just wanna
exactly.
vibe.
Like I'm in the middle lane.
Yeah, literally. That's fine. I like the
like
middle
I'm
lane.
not here yet to get in the left lane and start passing people by.
I enjoy the middle lane. So anyway, so the guy he spread out his cards and he's like, okay, so this is basically how this works. Is like it's gonna tell you things and you're gonna interpret it and apply it to your life however you see fit. So it's not like predicting anything. It just is like giving you a clear understanding maybe of what is going on in your life. Maybe. Again, I'm not an expert on this. You should really have someone. There's a lot of people in Alton who are much more expertise at this than I am, but anyway, he spread out the cards and right away, CJ, he was like, this card means sorrow. This card means worry. This card means cruelty. Like, he just kept going. And I was like, okay, that's a lot of that. And he's like, well.
Was there any positivity in okay, so what did he say? Sorry, not to cut you.
No, he was like, well, those are just everyday things, not even like the big ones. And I'm like, oh my gosh, okay. That's alarming. It was very weird.
You crying a lot?
I pulled it together.
Okay.
The tarot card
Are you
reading.
crying a lot, though, throughout your everyday life?
Not
Is there
generally.
a lot of
That's
sorrow?
why maybe it's
Sorry.
incoming. I don't know. It was very alarming. So I don't know about that. I do think tarot card readings are typically a little bit more like maybe not upbeat, but maybe just a little bit more like balanced.
Spooky, like mystical?
Ooh, maybe a little mystical.
Yeah,
I don't know.
like Stevie Nicks.
Yeah.
Nicks-esque.
Yeah,
Wow,
I get
sorry.
it. Yeah, no.
Wow.
I feel you.
Should be president.
No, she's ooh. No, shout out to Stevie Nicks. But yeah, no, it just was it was very weird. I'll be honest with you. It was a very weird experience.
It was just a joke, people. Thank God you're out of town.
Good luck. But no, it was a very weird experience. But it was fun.
Okay. Good reading, bad reading?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I guess it's up to interpretation because at the end I was kind of like, I walked away feeling a little less like pleased about that than I expected to. You know, like
a little less
sorrow.
tarot.
A little less tarot, yeah. So maybe I need to go back. So if there's a tarot card reader out there, CJ won't take a tarot card reading.
I will not.
I will. Tell me where to go.
I'll let you do it on the show. I just won't do it. I'll watch.
That'd be interesting. I
I'll
don't know if I
watch.
want that public, like, of.
Like, yeah, see, that's why I won't do it. I'm not doing
I don't know
this
if
on
I
the
want
show.
that.
What about, so just so you know, if you're interested.
I'm ready.
As of September 17th of this year, the average hourly pay for a Renaissance Festival worker in the United States is $20.99 an hour.
Seriously?
Go up as high as $27 an hour.
Now, question: does that depend on what you're doing? Because, like, if you're jousting on a horse,
yeah, that's going to be different than if you're bobbing for apples or whatever you're doing. I don't know.
I didn't see that. They should have had that.
Do they
that would have been good. They should have. That would have been cool.
So a Renaissance Festival in our area makes on average of about $20 an hour. So that's pretty good. And it's right in the middle. But the top search for cities for Renaissance Festival salaries are Baltimore, Pittsburgh, New York, Chicago, Phoenix, St. Mary's, Georgia. I've never heard of them. St. Helens, Oregon. I feel like is that where the volcano was?
I want to say yeah. I've never been there.
And Hartford, Connecticut.
Interesting. A lot of East Coast there. That's interesting. I did not expect the Ren Fair to be so popular on the East Coast, but what do you know?
Yeah, I mean, it's just a very interesting thing.
They're all over the country. What do you know? Gotta go. You should still go. You still have time before the month is up, so you and Jackie and the baby can go check it out.
There we go.
I don't know if they'd enjoy that, but it'd be fun.
So you split 20 arrows and challenged each other to an archery competition. Did you eat a turkey leg?
I did not.
Do you know they're made of ham?
Are they really?
I'm pretty sure they're made of pork.
That's upsetting.
Just so you know. I know. like
know.
just like the Six Flags ones, pork. That's not,
upsetting.
That is not turkey.
That always kind of like I've never had one of those, but they always like.
Have you ever seen a turkey that big?
First of all,
you know what I'm saying? I'm not trying to pick on anybody, but there'd be a lot of huge turkeys if there was like that many turkey legs like that out there.
True. First problem. Second problem, the vibes are just off. Like something about carrying around a giant turkey leg, imitation turkey leg. It's I don't know.
I'm vibing with it. I think I'm a caveman. I'm like, I kind of picture myself walking around like,
love that for you.
Yeah. Kind of just gnawing on it, you know?
No, I love that for you. You'd fit right in because the Ren Fair, there was a lot of that.
That's where I'm really excited for the baby to get to grow up a little bit more. Like when she's like 2 or 3 and has like some teeth, you know, and then I can just hand her a little bit of the turkey leg, just let her walk around with that.
That'd be funny.
You know?
That'd be pretty good.
That'd be fun.
Little chicken
you know?
wing. Yeah. That'll be fun. That'll be fun.
But I don't know. Be cool. Okay. So what'd you get there? What'd you eat?
So what did I eat? I had, believe it or not, it's humid. It's like 80 degrees. It could have been worse, but it's still hot there. They had soup. So I had loaded baked potato soup at the Ren Fair. It was a really weird day. I'm going to be real with you. It was a weird day, but it was a fun day. And I want to emphasize that. It was a lot of fun with my friends. So
is that the only food they had?
They had like turkey legs.
Yeah, they had turkey legs.
Pizza and grilled cheese.
Okay, now how the hell is that authentic?
I don't know. It was impressive. They had like a fudge stand. I don't know, man. It was pretty hardcore. It was
I
great.
want to go so bad.
It was
now.
fun.
Did you have non-costumers there?
There were people there.
Were they getting
losers? They were.
That's what I was gonna ask. Were they treated differently?
No, it was fine. No, there were people there in t-shirts and shorts, and they were just hanging out. But there were, I will say, the costumes were so cool to see what people came up with or found or created. It was very impressive, and people were hardcore about it.
Nice. You're out of town and you're in Chicago. What are you doing?
I am. I'm seeing a concert in Chicago, so I'm excited. I'm gonna come back. That'll probably be the blog next week.
What are you seeing?
I'm seeing Renee Rapp, if anyone's into that. But I'm into it. I'm excited, so it'll be fun for me.
Have a good time.
Thanks,
seriously.
I appreciate it.
We'll take not a break. We're out of time. Actually, I'm out of time for this week.
Time?
We take this on Wednesday. We're just getting this. Hey, Sydney, thanks.
Thank you.
Thank all of you. Thank all of you. Thanks. This darn thing. Welcome back. Giving me fits today. It's 10:37. Guys, just so you know, I am not feeling good at all. That's why yesterday we did a whole Zoom show. I'm sweating like crazy, so we're only going to be on the air for a couple of more minutes today, and we'll get back at this on Monday. We have everything done for the show today. We've gotten a lot of great stuff. I really like our Keith Short segments. I've always been really fascinated by law and just the process of it, and I can't believe my cousin Vinny has some actual parallels, so that's a good thing. Hey, I got to fill you in on one or two things before I say goodbye for now, and the first one is this. So, we all remember in my generation, Tony Hawk. The Tony Hawk ride at Six Flags was so much better before it was the pandemonium. I'll let that lie. What do you guys think about Six Flags might be closing? Did you guys see this at all? There's a good chance. The parent company's in deep, deep trouble. And recently, I've been seeing attendance is plummeting all around. You see these amusement parks closing from Six Flags. My point is, though, they've dumbed it down so much. I mean, think about this. So the other day, they had this special for next year, okay, where you could buy a season pass, okay, and it'd be $5 a month or $11 a month. Well, here's what they don't tell you. You're going to get hit with about $50 of fees and taxes at least per card. So you're going to spend $100 for your $5 a month. So there's number one, but you get free parking. The other thing, though, is, to me, that's the big tall tale sign that you're in deep trouble. I remember when these fast passes and everything else, we had season passes to Six Flags, they were expensive, and you could have a monthly option, but it wasn't no $5.99 a month. It was like $20. And so my point is, though, now it's like they just thrown their hands up. Somebody come in here and somebody spend money. My question to you, have you been to an amusement park that's in the bi-state area in the last couple of years? It could be in Indiana or tri-state. Hell, go up to Indiana and come down to Six Flags. Have you been to one? Number one. Number two, did you buy anything food related at the park? Number 3, did you buy anything but water or a refillable souvenir cup at the park? I mean, it's getting to the point people want to keep talking about these things like the Cardinals. Man, attendance is down. Well, attendance is going to be down when it costs you $85 to eat to watch bad baseball. I mean, that's just the way it is. You could be the New York Yankees, but if you're charging an arm and a leg and your team can't win to save their life, no one's going to go. And it's no different than here at Six Flags. Think about it. This was a staple. No one would ever thought this. But what happens is when you price out your consumers because your corporate office is greedy, they want to hit their bottom dollar, you're going to lose the people. And that's what happens all over the place. Look at local media. Look at media companies around the country. They're bought out by conglomerates left and right. Radio stations are getting bought out left and right. And then they go bankrupt. Because the corporate powers that be in New York or Las Vegas or California, name the big city, are saying, that doesn't look good for our expense report, cut it. What do they get rid of? They get rid of the local talent. They get rid of the local people that make up the area. They're the ones that should be reporting on area stories. They shouldn't be getting in a conglomerate and having some guy in a radio station in New York giving local radio stories or giving any type of local show. That's not what this has ever been about. But what happens is you have these companies who realize you couldn't do it without being a conglomerate, and they realized they couldn't do it without raising their prices so much, and all of a sudden you have this huge problem. Now they're getting bought out, now these companies are getting bought out, and now all of a sudden there's no money anywhere. So now you're losing these things, and it's not one person's fault, it's a corporation's fault at this point. It's an Odyssey fault at this point if you're on the radio side of things. It's not the local people anymore. I mean, you listen to a local radio station, listen to the FM side of things. There's maybe 1 or 3 people out of, let's say 30% are actually in the St. Louis area. The rest are syndicated shows. They couldn't give a damn if you listen to them or not. And what bothers me is each and every time we promote these things, like if a St. Louis radio show comes over, oh man, we got to promote them, but we don't want to get excited about the local media company that reaches the same amount of people, if not more, than the radio station. Trust me, I have the numbers on it, only because they're from St. Louis, only because they're a conglomerate. It's not about just going to the big guys anymore when the little guys can do just as much work. Hell, look at Dollywood. Talking about amusement parks again, let's go back to it. Dollywood's out of this world. They keep growing because they know their audience. They're crafting their product towards their audience, and they aren't just throwing darts at the board to see what sticks. That's the problem with Six Flags. That's the problem with corporate America. That's the problem with all these conglomerates taking over. We have to focus on the localized region. We have to stay local. If not, all of this is for nothing. I mean, think about it. What we're doing here at Riverbender is just incredible. We have a team of less than 10 that can provide you dozens of local sports stories, dozens of daily news stories, dozens of regional stories. Hell, we got 50 or 40 stories coming out a day. You don't see anyone else around here doing that, but the point is, all of a sudden, let's say, we go, you know what, this is great, but I want to listen to Nexstar. I want to listen to one of the big conglomerates. I want to give them my advertising dollar, even though they don't know how to use it. So all of a sudden, we lose out. And if all of a sudden we lose a local media company, guess what? Then you're relying on the corporation, the conglomerate, to report on your small town. You tell me if that's going to happen. It won't unless it's a crime story. Period. Full stop. It bugs me to no end. I just saw this Six Flags story. It took me on a tangent, but it's bothering me. No matter what industry, it's like everyone keeps thinking that merging's the way to go, to having the national firm and having them in charge is the way to go. Then local people will always miss out in the smaller markets, the medium markets, no matter what industry you're in. Sorry, rant over. I'm just so friggin' tired of it. Now, getting into the last couple of stories I wanted to talk to you about. Skateboard legend Tony Hawk is, making more history. He used the skateboard in 1999 to make history, and now it made history again. A record-breaking $1.15 million. The deck, called the Birdhouse Falcon 2, was used by Hawk to land the first ever 900, and that was impressive. And just went for auction a couple of days ago, $1.15 million. Our final news story of the day is not a news. Well, it's a news story. Residents of California in a neighborhood there are warning other locals to beware of a very mean squirrel that has sent at least 2 people to the emergency room. Joan Helbeck, a resident of Lucas Valley neighborhood in San Rafael, says she was taking her morning walk and then a squirrel attacked her leg. Yeah, it clamped onto my leg. The tail was flying up here. I was like, get off of me, get off of me. I don't want to touch it. That's what she told local affiliates. Another resident, Isabel Campoy, said her and her daughter were attacked by the rambunctious rodent while walking. Campoy ended up with the ER with a wound in her arm. Marie Ayub said her husband Joe had the confrontation with the squirrel when he tried to get the animal to stop biting his wooden fence. It took a big chunk out of my wood, and he thought, oh my gosh, he's hungry or something. So my husband Joe took off his cap to hit it to go away, and the squirrel turned around and jumped on his head. It stood on business. Flyers went up all around the neighborhood warning residents to keep an eye out for the attacked squirrel. This is not a joke, the flyers read. More than 5 people have been attacked by this very mean squirrel over the past few days. A representative from the local Wild Care Wildlife Hospital said that squirrels don't carry rabies, but the animal do sometimes turn aggressive when fed by humans, however. So just a little note for you. It could be worse. You could be getting attacked by a rodent somewhere. Anyway, I'm out of time. I just have had enough of all these. I mean, you see these local businesses all, and I'm going to take a shot at you. We'd cover you for free. No one says anything. Channel 2 will do something, and then we all have to flock to it, but we won't showcase Riverbender, who is doing this each and every day for it. It's getting kind of frustrating. And what's frustrating me is the numbers don't lie. Go look up social media numbers. We're number 4 or 5 in the region under the TV companies. And we don't have a marketing budget to get our Facebook posts out there. We're doing it here for you. So you're seeing this now with Six Flags. You're seeing it with radio stations. Quit just supporting the conglomerates. Support local. Support the people that are out here living in your neighborhoods that want to showcase the best of our community and know our history, know our image, know our brand, know our story. At 10:46, I'm out of time. I do not feel good, as you guys can tell. That's why I'm getting crabby. I'll see you back here on Monday. We got a full show. We got 20 guests, 15 guests. We got a lot of things to talk about. Join me then, won't you? Until then, try your best to stay out of jail.
Oh, yes, he did. He said it